Romans 2:11. For there is no respect of persons with God. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai Ba'ashem Rakak. Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers, to the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird among the heathens that look like the heathens. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm with another lesson in truth. And this is the video called, and it was, I don't know who put it up originally, but this is a repost, I believe, by the beloved brother GMS Watchman. And it's Captain Tazariak responds to adultery comment. And I just have to say this, that Captain Tazariak and his general are not fit to teach. This is probably the most blatant and perverse, one of the most blatant and perverse teachings of the scriptures that I've ever seen. That I've ever seen since waking up to this truth, and it's ridiculous, because what he did was he read 2 Samuel 2:11, which I'll read right now, and he used that as an excuse to justify adultery, and that it was okay. And it was read so out of context, because the adultery committed against him was done to him as punishment. All right. Let me this is 2 Samuel 2:11, and it reads, Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thy own house, and I will take thy wives before thy eyes, and give them unto thy neighbor, and he will lie with thy wives in the sight of this son. And he read that and said, then he said that it was okay for Chris Rock to go and get revenge against Will Smith for smacking him, to lie with his wife. And that's not the scripture says eye for eye, tooth for a tooth. It don't say nothing about screw for a screw. These guys are not apt to teach. And then you have some lost soul call in to Captain Tazariak, as you're going to hear, who is definitely not displaying the spirit of the Church of Berea. Because you really do have to read and learn things for yourself and not just be a parrot, which is something that the apostles of the Great Millstone have been teaching since I've been watching them, since 2007. All right. And you know what, I can go back and honestly admit too, when I first woke up to this truth and I started watching the camps, I was never watching ISUPK. Right out the gate, man, something about them, the spirit just wasn't right with them, man. I never just sit up and watch their videos, man. Never. All right. There was one short clip of, I believe, this same general going in on this little Edomite chick, and that little clip went viral. But as soon as I saw them breaking stuff down, I was like, no, these guys aren't the ones to watch. And the spirit, bears witness with the spirit. But let me grab Galatians 6 and 7. Here's the reason why that was said until our mighty King David, because he committed adultery and murder himself, and this was a punishment put on him. That wasn't because he smacked Uriah. All right. This was punishment because of what he did. This is Galatians 6 and 7, and it reads, Be not deceived, God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. And I can almost guarantee you that every man that's committed adultery against another man, someone's committed adultery against him. All right. Or if they haven't, they will. If you've been that backdoor lover, that side door lover to another man's wife, you will feel that that pain. It will happen to you. This is Colossians 3:20, and you will more than likely get put to death. You're not going to get the sure mercies of David. David was a chosen vessel, a special individual. So you can apply, because David actually deserved death. All right, but he didn't get death. All right, and then there's probably moments in his life when he probably wished he just would have been put to death. And that's just me speaking as a man, you know, because his house fell apart, son turned against him, you know, just one of his neighbors with his wives, you know, just the whole story. You have to go back and read that. You know, his son raped his own daughter. So he bared the punishment of what he did. This is Colossians 3:25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done, and there is no respect of persons. So now let's go back to Samuel and get the understanding, which you did not get from Captain Tazariak or this general guy. All right, and so this is 2 Samuel. I'm going to read all the way up until what he read, probably to the 14th chapter. So I'm going to start at verse 1. All right, and the point was verse 11. That's what they tried to use to you know, give a reason why it's okay for you to commit adultery against another Israelite, against your neighbor. That's basically what they're saying. These are the same people that said that John the Baptist wasn't in the truth. All right, but this is 2 Samuel 12:1, and it reads, and Yahweh sent Nathan unto David, that Nathan, all right? And he came unto him, and he said unto him, there were two men in the city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had exceeding many flocks of herds, but the poor man had nothing save one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and nourished up, and it grew up together with him and with his children. And it did eat of his own meat and drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and spared to take one of his own flock and one of his own herd, to dress it for the wayfaring man that was come unto him, but took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for the man that was come to him. And David's anger was greatly kindled against that man. And he said to Nathan, as Yahweh liveth, the man that hath done this thing shall surely die. And he shall restore the lamb fourfold, because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. So this was David's own mouth bringing judgment unto this man that had done this wrong against this poor man. And Nathan said to David, thou art that man. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul, and I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. And if it had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such things, much more. Wherefore thou hast despised the commandment of Yahweh to do evil in his sight. Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite, murdered, not killed. Because killing is actually, you kill someone, that means it was a justified death. Murdering someone is not a justified death according to the scripture. There is a difference. All right. It says, so I'll read that again. Wherefore thou hast despised the commandment of Yahweh to do this evil. What was that? He went on into another man's wife. He violated the law. He went on into another man's life, and he murdered one of his own. He murdered his brother. He signed a death warrant to have his brother killed or murdered. All right. It says, thou hast murdered Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword, the children of Ammon, and has slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. So he used an Ammonite sword to murder his own brother so that he could have his wife. Now, or cover up the sin of his wife. So he did sin upon sin. So you understand the depth of this thing? All right. Verse 10. Now therefore the sword shall never depart from thine house, because thou hast despised me. So basically, you're going to always be at war. You're not going to have peace. This was his punishment. And thou hast taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife. Verse 11. Thus saith Yahweh, because behold, I will raise up against thee an evil of thine own house, and I will take thy wives before thine eyes, and give them unto thy neighbor, and he shall lie with thy wives in the sight of this son. Because David was given Saul's wives in his house, because Saul committed sin against Yahweh, our power. That was the reason why. Okay? It says, verse 12, for thou did it secretly, but I will do this thing before all Israel and before the sun. So the Lord is going to punish publicly. All right? That's why you rebuke publicly when someone goes wrong, when someone goes off. And these guys are way, way off. Way off. Captain Tazariak should be Private Tazariak, and a general should be busted down to a sergeant. All right? It says, and David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against Yahweh. And Nathan said unto David, the Lord also hath put away thy sin. Thou shalt not die. Howbeit, because of this deed, thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of Yahweh to blaspheme. The child also that is born unto thee shall surely die. So you see, so those were punishments that were put on to David, and that's why you got all those prayers in Psalms, all those beautiful songs in the book of Psalms and prayers, you know, for David, because David was a man after the Lord's own heart. The David was special to the Lord, man. All right. But as it says in Romans 15:4, the things written aforetime are written for our learning. And clearly, Captain Tazariak and the general have not learned their lesson, and they just misled a whole lot of people, man. All right. ISUPK is clearly not the prophets of the Lord. All right. And if there be anyone that's sincere among them, man up and walk away from that. Now let's listen. Now that you've heard the proper explanation and breakdown of the scriptures, let's listen to the folly. Let you be the judge for yourself. So I suggest you read 2 Samuel, the 12th chapter, verses 12 through 14. All right, because it gives a breakdown of the madness you're about to hear.
605. You on Cross the Line Radio? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Cap? Captain Lazaria, Captain Castro.
Hey, what's going on?
I was calling because I was at work, and when I had a notification on Facebook come up, and it was General Muhammad, I believe is his name. We were doing a class. It was called Chris Rock's Revenge. He said in it, the way that Chris Rock should get his manhood back would be to bang Will Smith's wife. I mean, to me, that's a good idea, but is that cool? I mean, you know.
He said, to me, that's a good idea, but is that cool? Did you listen?
And he didn't correct him.
To the class tonight?
No, I didn't get all of it. Like I said, I was at work, and so I decided to call in here because it was the only number I got. So like, I caught it on Facebook.
No problem. I want you to listen to the whole thing. I'm just giving you the scripture to what General Miami was speaking to when he said it. Hold on 1 second. What is it? Uriah? Yeah.
Why are you doing that? I just wanted to say too. I don't know if it's like a cool thing to say, like you got a favorite Israelite or whatever. But you know, ISUPK to me is where it's at. You know, I don't think it gets.
That is the testimony of a 2/3 or extremely lost soul. All right. because, you know, evil is attracted to evil.
No better than that. But General Muhammad, that guy right there, like every time I catch him, like do like anytime he's talking, like he's giving, you know, he's speaking. He just sets it off to me, man. That dude is on fire. He's fire to me. I was just wanted to say that, but I just wanted to give him his props.
I appreciate that. So now, Second Samuel 12 and 11. Now, you can go listen to the whole class because he broke it all down. But I'm going to give you the scripture that General Muhammad was speaking to when he said it. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thine own house, and I will take thy wives from before thine eyes and give them unto thy neighbor. And he shall lie with thy wives in the sight of this son. So when you when you listen to the whole breakdown, you'll see he'll break down exactly what he was saying. Now, and the reason why he has to do that is because of brothers like yourself, sisters like yourself that are not in this body. So y'all don't understand what General Muhammad is saying. Like, I understood it when he said it on Monday. I knew exactly what he meant. I knew exactly the intent. But I also knew he was going to have to say something about it again on Thursday because those that are not in this body would not understand what he was saying.
It's a hard saying. Who could understand this?
Yeah, like when
it's not a hard saying, it's a very incorrect teaching. This is not First Timothy, but this is Titus 1 and 11, and it reads, whose mouths must be stopped. Whose mouths must be stopped. Who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. These guys are pieces of shit. Call halal Yahweh Shem Awashai Bashim Rakak Dash Wa Ababa Ball Kwam Yasharala.